Hi viewers, and welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the Curves Workbench mini-series. We're on part 5, and this again is a two-part video. So in our first part, we're going to be looking at the Discretize tool in the Curves Workbench and how to use that. And in our next video, we're going to be using the Discretize tool again, but to break up a face and blend surfaces together with the blend tool. Now there are two different videos because there are two different techniques in there. So our first one, I'm going to show you how I created something like this. I think you're going to like this one because it's quite quick to use this tool and you can get instant results from it. So in this video we're showing two techniques. The first technique is to take two curves, discretize them and create a curve between those to create another surface. And then we'll move on to creating a mask like this. So this is created from profiles, placed into a group, and we use that group to create the surface. So I hope you're enjoying this mini-series. And let's continue our journey into this workbench. If you like this video, please hit a like and also subscribe to the channel. I also have a Ko-Fi site where you can actually donate to my contributions to the community, and that's at ko-fi.com/MANG0. So let's first explore the tool, find out how it works and how it can be used in the Curves Workbench. So I'm going to create a new document. And the first thing I'm going to jump into is the sketcher. And I'm going to create a couple of curves in here. I'm going to create a new sketch. XY plane's fine. And we'll create one curve in here using a b-spline. Something like that. And I'm going to create another curve on a different plane. Or even take that curve and just rotate it slightly. Let's create another one. So that one on the ZX plane. Okay. So we've got that one there, and we're going to create one round about here. A bit different. There we go. Escape that. So we've got those two curves there. I'm going to get some distance between those as well. So I'm going to come down to the placement. I'm just going to move that along one of the axes along the y-axis, going this way and looking at my handler down here. So X is pointing towards me, Y is pointing off to the right, so Y is the one that I want to use. And we go in a negative position because it's going this way, so we're moving this way towards the left. And increase that a bit more. And this one, I'm just going to put a bit of an angle on that one. And I want to put an angle on the axis, come down, have a look, play with these z-axis, be zeroed, and the angle there. Let's go for the x-axis, there we go. And I'm going for something like that. So we've got a couple of curves in there. Let's put a bit more on there. There we go. I want to create a surface between. So let's jump into the Curves Workbench. Now I'm just going to minimize this a bit. There we go. So we can see what we're doing. I've got these two curves here. So I'm going to be using a tool called Discretize, which is here, which takes an edge or a wire and creates a discretized curve for that one, which is a set of points which will follow that edge, and there's a number of settings in there that will actually use that. Now discretize just basically means break that curve apart into a number of parts. So in this case it's points with some mathematical process behind there. So we can actually group points at one point or have them evenly spaced across that curve like so. If you think about it with a circle, if you took a circle, obviously we use pi to understand that circle, but if we wanted to use a discretized method, say we want to place a number of lines, like 100 lines around that circle, then we could use some kind of method to discretize those around there and place those evenly, and we can understand how long those lines are. So we're going to use a tool in here to take this curve and break it up into a number of points. I'll show you the reasons why in a minute. The tool's called Discretize. So that takes an edge or a wire. In this case, we're using a sketch line, which will be an edge. And we'll use this tool and that will break that up into a number of points. Now when I click on this edge here and use the tool, you'll see that there's a number of points that have appeared in this. Let's hide that sketch a minute. Come in and hide that sketch. There we go. You can see the points all along there, number of them. And what we can do is click on the edge, come down into our options, and we've got the edge that we've selected here, the points that have been generated, and down in the method is the algorithm that's being used, and also the number of points that we can generate. So I'm going to generate something like 20 points along there, and what will happen is you'll see that the points are there, all 20 of them. That's going to view and bring up that point size. Come down to line width, point size, bring this up a bit. There you go, you can see those points along there now. And if I go back to data, we can change the algorithm. This may reset the point size. Let's try quasi number and bring this down to something like 18. And we've got distance there, so we can set a distance. I'm going to go for 0.1. So that's push those points together, and something like 80. We'll place those points further apart. It's a bit too much, so let's go 30 there. So it's spread those points across that line distance. I think there's deflection, so you can see the points are more grouped together down here. Let's increase this deflection and decrease it to see what we get. There you go, and you can see there is some difference across there. So you can play with this algorithm to your heart's content. I'm going to stick with number for the time being, and I'm going to change this back to 20. So we've got 20 points in there. I'm going to do the same with this one, discretize that one. And the same with this one. Click on there. Got the number. We've got 100 at the moment. Let's turn this to 10. And come into the edge. Just hide that sketch. And also I'm going to increase the point size. So in view, point color, point size, and we'll just bring that up. Like so. So we've got two curves of points here. Okay, we've done this, so what can we do with them? Well, there's two main things we can actually do with these in here. We can actually create a surface across here, and we can create some curves across here to create additional surfaces. First, what I'm going to do is show you how to create curves across here, and we're going to use an additional tool in here, and that's the interpolate a set of points. We're going to create the points here, and now we can interpolate them. So I'm going to select 3 points from here, anywhere along this line, like 1, 2, 3. Now I've worked from left to right here. Now watch the selection because this does matter. So I'm now working from right to left. I've selected 3 points in there. We use the interpolate set points in there, and we've created a curve between those. So you can see our curve goes from right all the way around, and then from left through these points. If I did it the other way around, so let's go from here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we've worked from left to right on the bottom line, and right to left. We just select 2 on this one, like so, and use the interpolated set points. You can see how that's followed. So it's followed our selection. So we've got those there. We could create a ruled surface across here. Go to the part, and we'll select that one, and control select that one, and create a ruled surface across those. So create a ruled surface across those, like so. So we can create a surface across those using that tool. The other thing you can do with this is if you group them, and we can create a surface across those as well. So let me just show you the grouping. Let's get rid of those. And do I want the sketch? No, I don't want the sketch either. Delete those curves. And we're going to create a number of sketches. We're going to go with the sketcher. Now I'm just going to create a number of b-splines in there. About 4. Close that. That's all right. 1. That's my plane. Here's a second, which is going to be something like this. Close. Third. XY plane. B-spline on there. So a lot different. And the fourth XY plane. Okay, that. And we'll create something that goes like so. Escape. Close that. So we've got 4 lines there. Let's space them. So that's our first one we created. So we're going to leave there the second one and come down to the data and the placement and the position there. Move along the Z, and I'm going to move that about 20. Next one, Z, 40. Next one along the Z, and 60. So we have all those lines there, those b-splines. And we're going to create a surface across these. So we come over to the curves workbench, and we can take each of these, like so, and use the discretize. So that's created all those edges in there. And I'm going to come in and hide the sketches. Those sketches are all hidden. Got all those edges or curves sitting there. And we're going to select those all. Click 1, Shift, select the lower one, come down, and let's have a look at the number of points. I'm going to just reduce this to 20. So this will reduce all the points across the whole lot. So we've selected them all, and we're, as a group, we're changing that number. Anything that we don't change will still stay the same if they differed across those. 20, so those are all changed there. We've got a number of points across those, and actually I'm going to bring back the sketches so it's easier to see those. So we can see what we're doing. And I'm going to select all these and change the point size. So in View, Point Size, let's bring that up so we can see that. And the point color is black at the moment, we'll leave that. So we've got all of those there. If we come into here, click on your project name, one's unnamed at the moment, right click, create group, and move all these into this group, like so. Click on the group, and now select the approximate points to N.U.R.B curve surface, and we can create a surface straight away across those, like so. So using that group, it's actually created a surface for us. So if we move all our curves into a group, like so, all the edges are sitting there, we can perform operations on that group with the approximate points to N.U.R.B's curves or surface. So that's quite a nice one there. Quickly doing surfaces. Obviously you can come in and on your part, we can create an offset or extrude this. Just remember that the more points we have across these, the more time it will take to create that offset. So for instance, if we do that now, 3D offset, and you can see it's because we've got quite a low point count going across those, it's going to be quite quick. So fill that, okay, that's filled now. And we can come in or even click on each of these sketches. It'd be easy to actually come into here and pressing the spacebar, hide these sketches and hide the centralized edges. Try not to move it. Hide that one. Hide sketch. And there you go. And there's that surface sitting there. Let's come in. Let's just get rid of that surface. So yes, don't want the offset. Let's get rid of that offset. So we're back to our points. And if we come into here and change the number of points, so I'm going to set this one as 15, this one as 25. So we change the number of points across those. And we select them. And in the curves, if we don't select them, select that group and use the approximate points to NURBS surface, we get an error. That's because they have to have the same amount of points across each of those edges. So if you're using 10 across one edge, you've got to use 10 across the other. So what application can we use this for? Now, one thing that I've done is that I've created a head. Just click on here and you can see I've created this shape here. So basically it's half a face mask. And the way I've done that is I've used the group again. You can see the group there. And I'm just going to hide some of this, hide that cut, and bring back the surface. Here's the surface I've used. And that's created by coming into the group, which has a number of discretized edges there. So I'm going to hide that surface and start bringing these edges back. And that's quite hard to see, so let's bring in the sketches as well. So there's all the sketches. And from that we've done the same. We've done the discretized edges on those sketches, and each of those have a number of 15 across those. And then when we do the NURBS on here, the group, we get this surface. And then what I did was an offset on that one. Create a nice offset there, like so. And then I'd use some basic Boolean techniques, because with that offset you can actually bring in other shapes like so. And from that I produced cut. Let's hide that and hide these ellipsoids. And we've got the secondary cut there, that one there, hide the other cuts, like so. And the way I created those profiles is I used a model of a female head, like so. And I created layers across here. So when I say created layers, all they are sketches. So if I come into one of these sketch, that one there, and click on the section view, you can see I've traced through that section view and just traced around there, and done the same on the next layer. I've just moved sketches down across this model, and using the section view, I just use that to trace the outline of that head, that cross section of that head. So there we go, so we can see that outline there. And can't hide that while I'm on there. We can see how that follows that line there. So it's actually quite a simple effect that we've produced for this. So any 3D model, if you want to take a part of that, you can actually create cross sections across that by tracing parts of that head. And then from there, just create the NURBS surface across there, and off you go. So let's do the section view on that one. And we can see where that sketch has been placed across there. And I've just placed that sketch by using the placement values in there. So on this side here, click on one of these sketches, come down to the placement. You can see that the placement differs for all of them. position along the Z is 6 for this one, and placement position on the sketch is 5 for that one. So we can see we're just going through each of those cross sections using the section view and just tracing that object to get our shape. And let's hide that. And because we've taken each of these cross sections, then we've built up a profile of part of our model. So you can see how we use the Discretize tool to create those surfaces with single lines that we can divide up and create surfaces between those, and also through profiles like this in a group using the Nurbs curves on a surface and using the approximate points to Nurbs surface there. You can do that. There are other uses for the tool which are different to this application, and that is to divide up a surface and using the blend surface between. Because it doesn't fall into this video and it uses the blend surface along with breaking up an object into faces, we'll actually do that in a different video. So it's quite different to what we're doing at the moment. So this is an example of what we'll be doing in the next video. If the link to this video isn't here already, then please check back on the channel in the next couple of days. So I hope you're enjoying this mini series, and I'll see you in the next episode. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my site, and also I have a Ko-Fi site where you can actually donate a few pence or a few pounds, dollars, or whatever your currency is, and that's at ko-fi.com/mang0, and there you'll be able to help me fund my site, and all the money that I actually get from any funds will actually get pushed back into the channel. Thanks a lot for watching and subscribing. I'll see you next time.